Sean Gibbs, driver of the 13 Mitigator Ford Fusion. I'd like to thank you for listening to Let's Talk Racing.tv.
Jr., driver of the number 5 Kiker Motorsports Camry. Welcome to Let's Talk Racing TV.
With Rockingham Speedway. Thanks for listening to Let's Talk Racing.
I'm Tiffany Peters, driver of the number 17 Toyota NASCAR Camp World Truck Series, and you're listening to Let's Talk Racing.
Hey guys, I'm Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bain, and thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
It's still playing.
I'd like to welcome everybody to Let's Talk Racing tonight. What? So what happens when you got all that black on? Makes you look like a hood. The reason I'm saying that is because you're stealing bandwidth from us. Since I increased it, I want to make sure we ain't got no problems. We're trying to finish getting set up here. I love it when it doesn't type.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get everything squared away here.
Let's try this again. Hello, Tom. How you doing?
Okay, guy. Okay.
I was beginning to wonder. I tried to call you a while ago, and it kept saying call, call, call. I'm sitting there, what in the world was that?
Okay. You want to call me on the landline?
I mean, are you all right with this?
If the cell phone don't go dead.
Oh, let me get you off the speaker and off of the regular thing, or else everybody's going to know your home phone.
You there? Okay. Okay. All right, we'll call you right back. All right. Oh, we got to do one. Hold on.
Of course, now you're dialing in front of everybody now.
They can't see it.
Hey, go ahead.
All right, we got you there.
We got you.
All righty. We have, now that we're late getting started here, we got Tom Pistone, Tiger Tom Pistone on the line. We're going to have at 7:30 Sammy Wiggins, Ice Speedway Racing, coming to Hampton, Virginia, and Mandy Brodel calling in at 7:45.
Okay.
Tom, got you on the line here. I know you got some great news. Give a little bit of background on you for people that, well, they should know you.
But just in case they don't.
But in case they don't, give us a little background on you.
What's not working, Crystal? Your link is not working, she says.
The link is not working.
Right.
Hold on.
Tell her to go out and come back in, because we're seeing it working right now.
Okay.
Yeah, we are working right now.
It's working right now. Okay, good. Yeah, this is Tiger Tom Pistone. I came down south in 1955, and I raced Grand National up to 1968. Then I went in the car building business and the parts business. And, what else can I say?
You built a lot of cars over the years. You know how much you've actually helped build, or you have any idea?
Oh yeah, quite a few drivers I brought down here, and from up north. I think I was the first Italian driver to come down here and race. And Bill France Sr., he told the Ferrari guy one time, he says, I got an Italian driver too. I forgot what his name was, Enzo, I forgot what his name. He come to visit Bill France Sr. in the office, and I was up there at that time, and that's when France introduced me to him.
And it wouldn't happen to have been Enzo Ferrari, would it?
Enzo Ferrari, right.
Yep.
Right.
You came out of Chicago, won a couple of championships at Soldier Field, right?
We won 3 championships at Soldier Field, 3 championships at Rockford, Illinois, and 3 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin on the 3rd in 1953, 54, and 55, which is consecutive years. And then in 1955, the end of 1955, Soldier Field went NASCAR. So Andy Grantelli promoted me, and that's how I came down south in the end of 55. I started my NASCAR career.
And you've been with NASCAR ever since, haven't you?
Ever since.
You had told us last time, and I'm going to ask you this again. How'd you actually end up getting into the parts business?
Bill France Sr. In 1968, I drove my last race was at Augusta, Georgia. I think I finished 2nd or 3rd behind Buddy Baker. And there just wasn't enough money, you know. And so Bill France Sr. suggested that maybe I put a parts business together, a chassis business together. So he come down to my house in Charlotte, and we went looking for some land. And we found some land on Old Concord Road. And well, at first he told me, let's build a shop by the Speedway, Charlotte Motor Speedway, and we'll put a pure oil gas station up. And he says we'll have to sign a 99-year lease. He told me. I'll just tell you how stupid I was. He said we'll have to sign a 99-year lease, and then after 99 years, we don't own the property. I said, well, I don't want to do that. I never realized, you know, what he meant by that. And I think I should have done that at that time.
Now, are you still at the same location you have been?
Oh, yes, since 1968. 100 Old Concord Road. Still there. Yep, still doing. We're starting a new racing team for Tommy, my grandson.
Right.
3rd.
Right.
And we're trying to make the first race, the Camping World Truck Race at Rockingham, April 13th and 14th. And we're getting a lot of fans donating, you know, to helping us trying to get the money. And we're going to put their names all over the car. It's going to be a fan appreciation truck is what it's going to be. And so far, it's working out real good.
Yeah, I had read something earlier. Andy Hillenberg's helping you out with a truck, and you've got a lot of support behind you trying to get this deal going.
Yeah, definitely. Andy said he don't want to let too many people know about it because he's been getting too many phone calls.
Whoops.
Oops, sorry.
That's okay.
Don't you hate when that happens?
Okay, that's all right.
That's one of those things. Tell them ahead of time. Don't say anything about this. Oh, no.
Sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. Andy likes publicity. Worse than me.
Worse.
Andy's a pretty good guy. We've had him on as well also.
You catch him on a good day.
I don't think I've ever caught him on a bad day.
Haven't you?
I haven't caught him on a bad day yet, but I know he can have them.
Well, he's going to have a bad day when I ask him for a motor.
You're not supposed to talk about that either, right?
No.
So we're going back into the racing, but you never really got out of the racing. You still got a lot of guys you help out in the Legends and the Bandoleros and all that?
Yeah, I've been working on Brooke Smith and grandson, Marcus Smith's son, on the Bandolero for the last 3 years, and Mike Joy, you know Mike Joy,
Yep.
The announcer, yeah.
I'm working on Scott's Joy for the last 3 years, and in fact, I'm getting Scott's car ready right now to run the road race at Charlotte, which starts this weekend. Friday's practice and Saturday's the race, you know, at Charlotte Motor Speedway on the road course.
How do you like working on them little cars?
Well, it's a good thing I'm small because you're on your knees all the time. What's wrong? They're hard to work on, I'll tell you right now, and it's the best experience a driver can get.
Now, have you had a chance to race these?
Oh, no, I never got in them. See, my grandkids won't let me drive because every one of my kids want to drive. Now the girls want to drive. You know, Christy, Lena, Rosemary, they all want to drive now. So I had the grandsons. Now I got the girls fighting me.
Now you got the girls fighting to do it.
Right. So if I got in a car, they're going to say, I'm driving.
You need to have him adopt you.
I know it. Thank you.
Have one more out there.
I know it.
So, what is it? Nothing but a straight fan appreciation truck, or do you already have some sponsors that are going to be helping you out?
Well, we're getting donations. That's what we're doing. We're getting donations, and we're going to put their names all over. You know, whoever gets the car will sign their name on the car. And this is going to be our first race, and this will bring a lot of fans because we have a lot of people that still remember, like you guys, and we're going to help Andy with the racetrack, and so he's helping us. And that's like I said, the fans is what makes everything go. You know that.
Right. Now, are you going to try to make any more races this year?
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, it all depends on how much money we can donate. You know, one thing I don't have the overhead like these other guys have. You know, I got my shop. I still got my shop. I still got all the pit equipment. I got all the the machinery to build the car, and so we're in good shape there. See, well, like if we get our money, we put it all in the race car, in the race truck. We're not going to put it in a big building or paint the floors or do something like that there. See, I learned my lesson a long time ago with Bill France Sr. I don't know if you guys know this or not. In 1961, we formed a three-car team. And Johnny Ellen and Ned Jarrett, it was myself. And I had a shop down in Daytona behind the Speedway, and I was paying $125 a month for the shop. And Johnny Ellen was spending $125 a month. And Ned Jarrett had a two-car garage with a dirt floor, so he had no expense at all. So Bill France come in my shop one day, and he says, "Who's paying for this paint in the floor?" And I had some real nice pegboard in the floor on the walls with all the tools hanging on. I had curtains in the office. And he told me, "You're wasting my money." That's what he told me. He said, "We don't do things like that." And I learned my lesson after that. You don't waste money.
And especially when you go racing, you need it all for the car.
You need it all for the truck, right? 100%.
100%. You built a ton of cars, and who were some of the guys that actually you built cars for? Because I'm kind of curious about that.
When we first started off, we built some cars for Harry Gant, Bobby Isaac. Oh, it was quite a few guys. You know, Harry was my main man, and Harry won over 200 races in the sportsman division. And then I helped Harry get his ride in the Grand National circuit at that time with Race Hill Farms. So, and Harry was he was at an elderly age at that time, but he was such a good driver, they picked him up. Then Bobby Isaac, he drove for Harry Hyde, and we built a Nova, and this Nova was so. Even in fact, L.G. Ollinger bought it. I can't remember all the names of the guys that bought them, but we sold over 500-600 cars. We sold.
Wow.
Yep.
We've got a guy up here that you built cars for. Built a couple of cars for him. Joe Hendricks.
Oh yes, definitely, 100%. I forgot about him. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of guys up there in the Virginia area. Those are good racers up there, Maryland and Virginia. They still are.
Yeah. Joe happens to be a good friend of ours, and we talk quite a bit about some of the racing that he's done. And
he's putting a replica car together, isn't he?
Do what?
I think he's putting one of those cars together, isn't he? Making a replica. I think he's restoring one of them cars.
He had one of your old cars for quite a while.
Right.
And a guy is running it. I think it's down in Concord.
Uh-huh.
And it sat on the trailer, and it was down here for, man, since he parked it, and he only sold it maybe 5-6 years ago.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah.
And a guy is actually running it, took it and just kind of got it back running, and is racing it somewhere down I think it's Concord.
Yeah, right. It's a good track. Right.
So, how do you feel getting back into the racing? Are you looking excited to go do this truck racing?
Oh, 100%. I'm going to put all my marbles in this one because just it's the last chance I got with Tommy, Tommy III. So I met with some gentleman the other day. This guy owns a janitorial service. He owns up in there, Salisbury. I went up there and looked up his operation. He had quite a few trucks up there and everything. And I was trying to get hooked up with him. And, it looks pretty good getting associated with people now that they all know I'm trying to get back in racing. So now we're trying to get a bunch of help, of which we are getting a lot of help now. And what I've been doing lately, I've been calling people and say, okay, now it's my turn. All the people I've helped in the past.
Yep.
And so they're coming through. There was a lot of people, like you said, we helped in the past. So we'll see how much they help us this time.
Well, I hope they help you out a lot. This thing is wigging out here, and they should, because I know you've helped out quite a few people. Your grandsons are still into the legends, right?
Yeah, Chase and Nikki. Yeah, they're still in legend cars. So is Tommy. We built him a brand new car. So we might run a few legend car races this summer at the summer shootout when it comes up. Yeah, I'm affiliated right now with U.S. Legends. I'm affiliated right now. I'm a consultant for them, and I think we're gonna have a good position doing that next year. That's going to help our racing career too. Smith and Don Hawk behind me, and Marcus Smith.
Hey, have they? I know they had a little bit of shakeup down at 600 last year. Has everything kind of straightened out? And
Yeah, place is going real good. I mean, first class. And they're selling cars. They're selling cars in Russia, Germany, you name it, Japan. They shipped 50 cars out to Russia the last couple of weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah, so the racing international is real big. And Don Hawk told me the other day, he says, you better get your passport ready. He's fixing to send me out there. Which I don't mind, I'll go.
Yeah, that'd be kind of interesting going there, wouldn't it?
A lot of racing overseas, you know that. So.
Yeah.
And these legend cars, they're diseased. Paul Newman came down here years ago, and we let him drive one of those legend cars, and he ended up buying two of them. Chip Canassa came down and drove one, and he ended up buying one. And look at George. Was it Tim George from Indianapolis Motor Speedway? He bought a couple too. He owns Indianapolis Speedway.
And he still races them too, I believe.
That's his son, isn't it? Racing them.
I think his son is racing, but I think he races them too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's got a couple of cars too. These legend cars is the best thing that ever happened for a young guy. Look all the David Reagan. Look at Reed Sorensen. Them guys at Joey Logano. Look at all them guys. They all started with the Bandoleros and the legend cars. They all started with.
Yeah. Well, Dale Jr. drove one for a while too, I believe.
Yeah, Dale Jr., Kelly Earnhardt did, Kerry did, and yeah, quite a few. It's a good stepping stone. Just like a young kid, for 8 years old, you get in a Bandolero, and you can drive until you're 12, and then 12 years old, you can go right into the legend car. It's the best racing that's ever happened.
On small tracks, I got to wholeheartedly agree with that.
Right. So it's a low-cost family, and it's a family operation. It keeps the family, it keeps the kids all together. And like I say, I've been with them for 22 years now. I've been with them.
Yeah, so you've been with them for quite a while.
Yeah, since the beginning.
Since the beginning. I got to ask you this, and if for people that doesn't know, you made it onto American Pickers.
Oh, yeah.
And you were showing a lot. Do you still got a lot of that old antique stuff still laying around?
Oh, yeah, quite a few. In a way, I hate to sell this stuff because now, when people come in, I got nothing to talk about. See, that's the problem when you get rid of that stuff.
They'll sit there and say, oh, yeah, I remember when, where did that go? Oh, that's right, I sold it a week ago.
Yeah, see, it's the biggest mistake I made was selling my helmet and my uniform. That was the biggest mistake I made. and my daughter Chris's not gonna let me forget it.
But it's in the Hall of Fame, though, isn't it?
Huh?
It's in the Hall of Fame, isn't it?
Yeah, they put it in there. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's not a bad thing, though.
No, not really, but it was something personally I should have kept it myself. I should have kept it.
Yeah.
You know. But just like things like that. In the past year, I can't understand. I got 6 awards. I can't understand what's going on. You know, I got 2 Smokey Unique awards. I got one in Florida in February, then I got one from Marcus Smith at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And Marcus gave me a beautiful plaque with a gold wrench on it. I couldn't believe it. It was on race night. He put me in the stand. You know, I walked up in the stand. He introduced it. He gave the Smokey Unique award to me. And I asked Marcus, Smokey Unique was noted for cheating, or what do you call it, innovating?
Yeah, he was quite an innovator.
Well, I said, what are you trying to tell me? I'm a cheater? I told Marcus.
You got a chance to know Smokey, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, quite a few. Right on. Smokey in 1956 is when I met him at Daytona. And he was good people to me. But he got mad at me. His grandson built the Legend car, and he built it all by himself. And it was so light, this car, you know, it was so illegal, it was pathetic. I disqualified him, and Smokey Unique never forgive me.
Oh, really?
Because I was the Legend director at that time. He got mad at me.
Well, Smokey seemed to have a tendency to get mad at people at times.
Oh, yeah, I know. But he was good. Can't take it away from him.
Yeah.
It's a dirty shame he's not in that Hall of Fame. I can't figure out why he's not in there.
Do you know what? I'm going to bring that up and with you, because you see the class that's going in there now.
100% wrong.
Do what?
100% wrong.
You think so?
100% wrong. The first guy should go in there is like Marshall Teague, Red Byron, the guys that, you know, Ray Parks, Red Boak, you know, Ray Fox Sr.
Yeah.
You should get the guys that, what they ought to do is start from the beginning. You follow me?
Yeah.
You know, just don't take 5. You know, why don't you take 10 out of each class? You had in 1955, you got 55 to. See, I'm dumb. You got guys in there right now that shouldn't be in there.
But okay, I agree with you, and I think like you just said, Red Volt and Ray Fox and some of them guys should get in there.
Red Byron. Marshall Teague.
Marshall Teague.
You don't keep forgetting about those guys. Herb Thomas.
But now, and I agree with you. I think they need to. I think they need to at least up how many.
5's not enough.
5's not enough. I agree wholeheartedly with that.
You should take one wall just by itself and put all the guys from the beginning. Put them on there. You know, Lee Petty finally got in. That was right. Lee Petty getting in there.
Yep.
That was 100% right. The France family, that was right. You know, but Ray Parks should have went in there. You know, and Red Byron should have went in there. Red Byron should have been the first one, as far as I'm concerned.
He was the first national champion.
Right, exactly. He should have been the first one in there, and he's not in there right now. Just like Red Bolt. You know, gee, look what he's done for racing, Red Bolt.
Yeah. Well, and you brought up Ray Fox Sr.
Yeah, Ray Fox Sr. Ray Fox Sr. right now is 96 years old. I was down in was in December. I met him at the Living Legends. I mean, they had an award they handed me down there, and he was there. That's when I saw him. I couldn't believe it.
And from what I understand, he's still going pretty strong.
Right, but see, I don't understand. Why did they wait for these guys to die? They should put them in while they're alive.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's what I can't figure out, you know.
But now the guys that they've put in there, I mean, you got Dale Inman going in. I think he's well deserved to go in.
Well, Inman was at the beginning. No, he wasn't at the beginning. Yeah, Dale, he was not at the beginning. No, Red Bolt was the beginning.
Red Bolt, yeah, but
came after that.
But the accomplishments that a lot of these guys have done. I mean, let's talk about Richie Evans.
Well, that's later.
And I agree. But don't you think he deserves to be in?
Well, yes. What they should do, like you say, you've got sportsman, Grand National, and modified.
Yep.
They should take 5 out of each class.
Yeah.
You see, or 10 out of each class. The modified should be mixed up with the Grand National, and the sportsman should not be mixed up with that. The modified cars.
Yeah.
Maybe it should be a separate wall.
Should be, but I'm with you. I think they need to increase it at least to 10.
Well, I've been trying to tell the NASCAR. I don't knock NASCAR. Don't get me wrong. I've been trying to tell the Hall of Fame that they need to get the cars in pieces from the beginning. From the beginning, not the whole car. People like to see how to check. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought I lost you there.
Yeah. See, people would like to see how the first seat was made, first wheel, how the first spindle, or the first hump, the first tire. See, I told them to break the cars down in pieces and let the people see, like I sold those spindles to the Hall of Fame. See, now they understand what those spindles were, but go from the beginning till now and show them what the advantage. I mean, how it grew, how the sport grew. Because who wants to look at a complete car?
Well, that's true. I agree with you on that.
Well, you walk right by it. Who wants to look at that? You want to look at the history of how, like your first seat. Your first seat was a car wheel. You know that, don't you?
Yeah.
It was a car wheel. Guys had a car wheel. Okay, what was your first seat belt? A belt, a regular belt.
Yeah, regular lap belt.
Yeah, and a rope. You know, start from the beginning. How racing came. You know, and go up in categories. But they're hard. They won't listen. They just won't listen.
It's really a fan. I know you've been through the Hall of Fame, and it's really fan friendly. But I agree with you. There's a lot of things in there that the racers don't really want to see. They're looking for, just like what you talked about, how they built the cars back then and what they look like and what they did to them.
Well, I don't want to say this, but I haven't been to the Hall of Fame yet because I've been pretty sore.
Oh, you haven't visited it yet?
No, I have not visited because I'm pretty sore about it. I think they're wrong, 100% wrong, and I'll tell them to their face. You know, they're not putting the right people in there. They should get their heads back together. What they should do.
I think I agree with you to a certain extent. I think they are putting people in there, but they need to go back to the beginning. And it's just like you said, they need to get the Red Votes and the Ray Foxes and Marshall Teague and, you know, them guys in there. You know, the Wood brothers, they rightfully deserve to get in there. They were there at the beginning.
Right, at the beginning.
Yeah, and I agree. I think there needs to be a stepping stone. I think there needs to be a little bit different of a criteria.
What about Cotton Owens? What about Fireball Roberts?
There you go. Banjo Matthews.
How about Joe Weatherly?
Joe Weatherly, there's another one.
Turner. Curtis Turner. What happened there? Paul Goldsmith. You know, Paul Goldsmith ran the beach.
Yeah.
People forgot about him.
Yeah.
You know, Paul Goldsmith, you know. And then you had the Rathman brothers, you know, Jim and Dick.
Yeah.
You know, back in them days. You had Ray Erickson, the guy who lost his arm.
Yeah.
There's so many pioneers back then that these young kids don't know about, and they would like to know about them.
The Flock brothers.
Oh, how about Frank Monday?
Yep, there you go.
How about Frank Monday? You know, the more we keep thinking about it, how about him?
Yep.
And especially Tim and Fowney. How about them?
Yeah.
You know, Fowney Flock, boy, Bermuda shorts racing.
Yeah.
You talk about it.
Well, Fonte was it Fonte that had the monkey?
No, Tim Flock had the monkey.
Tim had the monkey.
You know, that's the kind of stuff that people would like to see in the Hall of Fame.
And it needs to be brought out.
Oh, yeah. 100%. But, like I said, they're not going to listen to me. Listen to you guys, but they can listen to me.
Well, we try. They don't listen to us either. So, Tom, I got Sammy Wiggins on the line here.
Okay.
We're going to let you go.
Okay.
When you get closer to running Rockingham, I want to get you back on here, and let's get some of these names out here that have jumped on with you.
Okay. Tell Roger thank you.
No problem. I'm right here.
Okay, Roger.
Thanks, Tom. We'll be talking to you soon.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
All right.
Sammy, you there?
I'm here.
Hang on.
You got me?
Yep. You got to hit drop and then hit the line you're dropping. Okay.
I wasn't hit.
You were getting ready to push one
Just
line.
go. I got it. It's Sammy Wiggins, right?
That's right.
Okay. Sammy is now they call you the Iron Man. Am I right about that?
Yep, I am the Harley quad guy.
You are the Harley quad guy, and you also run. Help me out here.
I also run the bike class, too. There's the unlimited quad class, and then the manufacturer World Cup bike class. And I do run both of them, which no one else runs. You know, everybody else either runs one or the other. I run both classes, so it's a handful.
Well, and I'm going to ask you to explain this to me about the Manufacturer's Cup. Explain those bikes to us, and then we're going to get to the quads.
All right. Pretty much the Manufacturer Cup bike class, it's pretty much it's a motocross bike that you can buy at, you know, a motorcycle store. What we do is we lower the suspension, you know, a few inches to get it lower to the ground. We get 19-inch tires in the rear. On the ice, though, we do run the stock 21-inch front tire. Some people run both 19s. Pretty much it's just a stock motorcycle, just lowered down and different types of wheels. And other than that, you can choose whatever motor work you want to do to them. Really doesn't matter. Other than that, that's pretty much it. You can go out, make your own. You know, you buy a brand new one, put some money into the suspension, wheels, a little bit of motor work, and you got a bike that's ready to rip.
And you run what do you run in that division?
I run a Honda CRF 450, and they all are 450cc motorcycles. You know, there's other ones like 250s, and, you know, other people make them bigger, but for the bike class on the ice racing tour, they all have to be 450cc motorcycles.
And are these the ones you got one gear, no brakes, and...
No, those are actually the Speedway bikes. They did away with them on the ice tour a few years ago. Our bikes, they have 5 gears. Some other bikes, you know, Suzuki's, they have 4 some year. But we do run the brakes, the rear brakes, no front brakes now. But we do have gears and a rear brake. But we do not shift. With the gearing that we run, you know, we want to get that bike off the corner as fast as it can and rev it out as fast as we can. So, you know, we're running really tall gearing in the back and a smaller countershaft sprocket just so that it can, you know, take off faster, you know. And then, you know, in the dirt stuff, you know, when we're on big tracks like a mile oval, you know, we'll switch the gearing around and just to change, you know, the gearing ratio. But other than that, on the indoor stuff, you're pretty much running, you know, first gear, you know, you're on the rev limiter, you're revving the, you know, the brains out of this bike, and, you know, you just want to get that thing off the corner as fast as possible, revved out, you know, and it makes it handle a lot better rather than having a, you know, smaller gearing in the back and, you know, having all that pull. So that's mainly pretty much it.
I got to see y'all. You were down here in Hampton last year.
Yep.
And I got to see you, and I was like, we're going to talk about the quad now. Because I have this question for you. Where can I get a Harley quad?
That's the thing. You cannot get a Harley quad. That quad right there was a fully custom-built 900 Buell. It's a 900 Buell, which is a Harley-Davidson.
Right.
It was built from, the motor was donated from Gutter Ridge Harley-Davidson out of Illinois. And Chuck Calvert, he's the guy who built it. And a few years back, he came to me when my bike broke. I was out in Vancouver, Canada, and he asked me to ride it. So I rode it, and, you know, I rode it at some other races, you know, just because my bike was broke. And last year, he wanted me to come on board and ride it full time. And that's what I did, and ended up, you know, getting 2 wins on it. I got a podium in Portland, Oregon. You know, I really didn't expect to do that good. I'm not a quad guy. But other than that, you cannot go out and find this Harley in any store. This is one of a kind, a fully custom-built Harley-Davidson quad. You know, that motor was pretty much, you know, built for, you know, street bike. But that frame and
and everything on that bike is fully custom. You know, that frame was built for that motor, and then, you know, pretty much put in a quad. So it took a lot of time and investing into this quad to really get it to work, because, you know, at first, you know, he, you know, wasn't sure about it, but it was an unlimited class. So, you know, he said, hey, why not build a Harley? You know, everybody loves Harley Davidson. You know, it's the biggest name out there in the motorcycle industry. And, you know, it's one bad machine, and it's fun to rip around.
Now, Ice Speedway, you guys are coming here, and you've got a really small schedule. Do you race these two classes anywhere else?
No, other than that, this is the only time I ever run a quad. And I run the bike all year round on the AMA Grand National Pro Flat Track Series. I run my Honda CRF 450s. And other than that, I do not run a quad any other time. And only for the indoor ice racing series is when I run the quad. And, you know, other than that, I was never a quad guy. I was never into it. You know, I was always into the two wheels, being able to, you know, throw this bike around and everything. And, you know, I had a quad at one time and pretty much said, hey, my little brother can take it. I want the motorcycle. He was happy with that. And, you know, when Chuck came around and, you know, when I first seen it, I was surprised. And, you know, when I first got to ride it, I was, you know, amazed. And, you know, it's just a crazy machine. And, you know, he's worked his tail off, and he got it dialed in last year, and we ended up third in points, got Rookie of the Year. You know, it was a really cool deal, you know, being able to run that all year. You know, it's, you know, everybody, you know, when they first hear that thing, you know, start up, you know, you don't even got to be on the track. You know, when it's in the pits out under the grandstands, you know, they hear this thing rumbling and rumbling. You know, it's the loudest thing out there. You know, to just be out there and just, you know, give it all it's got, you know, feeling, you know, vibrate your hands off the bars. It's just a rush being able to ride that thing, man. It's awesome.
What got you into this ice racing? Is this something you do just for the winter to have something to do, or is this something that you know, you do this full time? This is your deal.
Well, you know, when I first got into it, they needed riders, and a buddy of mine, Tom McGrain, who I travel with from around here, you know, had asked, hey, you want to get into this ice racing stuff? They need a few more riders, and, you know, they had a race in Trenton, New Jersey last year. And other than that, you know, once I did my first race, I was like, man, I'm hooked. I went out and got my own tires, made my own fenders. You know, I got everything I needed to make sure my bike was prepared for this ice racing deal. And ever since then, you know, I made sure I was at every race. And this is my fourth consecutive year. You know, first full year on the bike. You know, I got Rookie of the Year, ended up 5th overall, I believe. The year before that, I was 7th. Last year, I was 6th. So, you know, we're staying in the top 10, which is pretty good. We got a consistent amount of riders that come to all the races, about 12. You know, they're big names. You know, we got Kevin Anderson, Jared Nees. You know, we had J.R. Schnall at a time, Jake Matea. You know, Tommy McGrain's been doing this for a while, and he's a, you know, a pro rider from back then. So to be able to run with these guys, I also learn a lot, you know, because I didn't get started until I was about 11 or 12 and started racing full time when I was 16 back in '06. So, you know, I can benefit a lot of stuff that I learned on the ice onto the dirt as well. So, you know, this time of year, you know, not many people are on motorcycles because of the weather. It's cold, snowy. But, you know, this gives us a chance to get on our bikes, you know, just keep moving, you know. The more you're on the bike, the better you're going to get, the more you're going to learn. And, you know, just if you want to achieve something, you know, you got to stay on the bike.
So you do the AMA flat track in the summer, and wintertime you come up here and you play on the ice. What's the difference? Now, I've been on dirt and I've been on asphalt, and it changes. How much does that ice change?
That ice changes every single lap. I'm not going to lie. You know, when they first, you know, groove the track, you know, when we first go on the track, brand new, you know, nothing's been on it. That's when it's the best. Now, sometimes we get at a few arenas where, you know, the ice isn't as hard, and, you know, it kind of takes some of the traction away. The harder the ice is, the better it is, the more, you know, the ice stays together. It's a totally different track from the first time you're on it to the main event. You know, even like I said, from lap to lap. One lap, you might have a good line. The next time you go to run the same line, there might be a rut there. The bikes really rip up the ice. So other than that, it's real inconsistent, but everybody's got to ride the same track. So best man wins. You just gotta give it all you got and be prepared for anything, and just go out and give it all you got.
You've had one race this year. You're going in for your second race here. How's it going so far this year? Where are you sitting in the points and all that?
Well, as of right now, there hasn't been any ice racing going on yet. Our first one is this Friday night in Reading, Pennsylvania. It's my hometown. I won here last year on the quad, and I'm really pumped to come back. I got a lot of friends and family coming out to watch. They're a big supporter. So right now, pretty much everyone's dead even. Everyone's tied in points. So, this Friday night, it's going to be a points run. 6 races only. Compared to last year, we were on the West Coast, Midwest, East Coast. I think a whopping 14 or 16 races last year. So we kind of had time to have a little stroke here and there. So 6 races, you got to be bad to the bone from day one. I'm prepared. I'm ready to go. I got my tires ready. Chuck Calvert, he's been working on the quad. Touched bases with him a few weeks ago. Even though Mandy Brodel's the world champion, she's got more experience on the quad. She should be able to win, but, my rookie year came in there and took her spot a few times, and, I'm really planning on, taking that championship away from her this year, and, I'm not going to take it as easy. If I see a chance where I can, get in there and, bump someone to get them moving or, take their spot, that's what I'm going to have to do in order to win this championship, and, I'm going to do what it takes.
I was hoping he would wait, but now we got Mandy on the line, right?
Yes.
Okay, can you guys hear each other?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear that voice.
Oh, you know who it is then.
Yes,
yeah,
I
it's
do.
a little quiet. Recognize that voice, though.
Sammy, we're going to see you first race. We're going to get to Mandy here now, but I'm going to let you go because I know you're busy and you got to get things running. Do you got any sponsors you want to thank before we get you out of here?
Yeah, I just want to give a big thanks to Chuck Calvert. He's getting that quad ready for me again. Also, Jerry Grand Duke with Cold Heart Custom Cycles. He's been helping me out with both the dirt and the ice. Decal Works, Diesel, Minnesota. Johnny Lewis, a big supporter of mine back at home and one of my personal trainers. Other than that, Roy Miller, Goodwin Racing, my mom and dad, my buddy Kevin Anderson. I'm actually picking him up from the airport now. He's a big help. So, big thanks to them. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now, especially my mom and dad, and the good Lord above, they all brought me here today.
Well, listen, I'm going to wish you the best of luck in Reading. We're going to see you here Saturday night. I'm going to come down and meet y'all, so I'll make sure I run into you. But best of luck in Reading, and we'll see you here Saturday.
Hey, thanks a lot, Matt. Take care.
All right, man. Take care.
Yeah.
All right, hold on, Mandy. We're going to get rid of him. You there?
I'm here.
We have now. I'm going to Mandy Brodel, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I wanted to make sure I pronounced that right. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do, and we'll go from there.
By day, I am an accountant, and by weekend, 3 months out of the year, I am a professional ice racer on the four-wheelers.
And now, is that all you do is run the four-wheelers?
Yes, I don't do both. I stay on 4 wheels. I tried 2 once, and I tipped over, so...
And you are, if I'm not mistaken, a 4-time champion?
I am. I am a 4-time world champion. I won the 2011 after coming back from I took about a 5-year hiatus, and my second year back into it, I was fortunate enough to win a championship again.
What got you into ice racing?
Into ice racing? It's kind of funny. I just saw it in a magazine. I wanted to go watch it, and Gary Dinsford, the old president, said, hey, why don't you come out and race it? And I did, and I just had a feel for it. And I was hooked after that.
And now this is the funny part. You're actually from North Carolina, aren't you?
10 years, North Carolina native. I don't know when you become a native of a state, but I've been here 10 going on 11 years.
And ice racing is not a very popular sport down there in North Carolina, is it?
No, it's not. I'm born and raised in California, and it wasn't a popular sport either. But it's close to dirt. You get a ton of traction, which people wouldn't expect, so it actually makes the racing even more competitive.
And now, you said you rode quads. Do you race them any other time of the year, or are you just doing the ice racing?
For the past 2 years, I've just done the ice racing. I did compete week in and week out for dirt races. I guess if I threw out my accolades, I'm a 5-time national short track champion and a TT champion. But after I had a big injury, I had to take a step back from the dirt and heal for 2 years. And then I was lucky enough to have my little girl, who will be out there strutting her stuff in Hampton as well. So now it's a family. It's been a family sport, but now there's going to be 3 generations out there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I race against my dad on the ice. He's out there. He actually finished second in a championship chase in 2011. And my little girl, she's 3, and she gets to go out there on her little 50 for the first time. She went out there last year on her power wheel, and she'll be out on her 50 this year.
How does it feel having you're the second generation, now you got the third generation, you got your little daughter coming up. How does it feel to have her out there racing now?
When she was on her power wheel, it was all, just grinning, and now she's on her little 50, and I'm like, okay, slow the bike down, slow it down some more. I don't want her to go that fast. For me, I'm like, I need more speed, I need to go faster. So I'm totally opposite with her.
You're totally opposite. You just like let her go.
No, I don't want her to go faster. Slow her down. Me, I can go faster. She can slow down. But it's a good feeling. So she'll be the next up and coming champion in ice racing.
How's Grandpa taking to it?
Her out there?
Yeah.
She's just started on her 50, and he's ready. I mean, I think he got all his gray hairs through me, so he knows what to expect watching me start. Hopefully she doesn't have as many bumps and bruises and falls as I did.
Well, she's young enough. She'll probably have some going. Now, I just asked Sammy, who's on the bikes, and I'm going to ask you the same thing, because you've been on dirt before, and I've run dirt, oval, and dirt or asphalt. How much does that ice change for that quad? Traction-wise and all that, how much is that ice changing for you?
If you don't really, unless you start off on soft ice, the ice stays pretty consistent throughout the night. I don't ever really feel it. I don't feel a change from when I start to when the night ends, unless it's soft ice and it gets snowy. Then you start to lose traction. But compared to the dirt, I feel if you have the right setup, you get just as much traction, if not more, than on the dirt.
Really?
Yeah. As long as you have the right setup. Now, if you go out there and don't know what you're doing, then, yeah, you're going to slide around. But if you know how to make your bike work, you can get more traction. I mean, I don't think there's a race that I don't wheelie off the line. My front tires always come off the ground, off the start.
Welcome. You're limited to, and I'm sitting here and I'm trying to find a picture of you here on the deal. You're limited to how many spikes you can put in them, and they're not actually spikes; they're screws. Am I right?
They're screws with beveled heads. Is the best way to describe them. we can't run the spikes, we can't run the longer cold cutters that you see on outdoors because we're in an arena, so they have to preserve the ice.
Right.
No, and we are not limited to how many studs. I don't run that class. There's the amateur class that is limited to I think they can have 500
Right.
in their tires, but in the pro class, there is not a limit.
There's not a limit. Do you now here's a good question, and it just popped into my head. Do you take some screws out every now and then just to get maybe less traction? Or is that an adjustment tool?
No, not on. If I took my screws out, then I would have a flat tire.
Oh, okay. But now, do you change the tires with less screws in it? I mean, do you add more to get a little bit more traction? I know that you probably have to change the tires. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've never taken screws out to get more or less. I've always adjusted my bike, my ride height and moving my tires in and out, and my shocks. That's how the shocks probably play the biggest part of my traction, whether I add traction or take some out.
Or take some out. We're coming off a championship from last year, going into defending it. How do you feel your chances are of?
This is going to be a brutal year. It's only 6 races, which is the shortest season I think I've competed in. So we are all going to be out for blood because if you go to one race, if you get taken out one race, it can throw your whole championship. So it's going to be aggressive. Everyone's going to be aggressive, but that's part of racing. It's just don't do the dirty takeout and we'll be all good. So that's the mentality you have to go into it with. You have to go in there knowing this year that, we're going to bump tires and bang bars and we're all going for that same spot off the line, which is the lead.
Which is the lead. Well, and that's another thing to ask. How critical is it to get that inside position on them starts?
It's a benefit to a certain extent. I would say I would like any position other than the third position. You can give me any gate except for 3, and I'm happy. That's the only gate I don't like. Otherwise, you're all on the front line, and it's just who has the quicker reaction off the start. But otherwise, I'm fine. That is an advantage, the pole position. You hope to draw that, and you hope to be the fastest at the end of the night for the main. But I'll take any but the third.
Anything but the third.
You get sandwiched.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You have someone coming off the wall, and you have the guy in the second who's slamming slamming you over. So you end up getting sandwiched in the third position.
And I bet that would be a little bit uncomfortable.
It is.
So, you're heading up to Reading in the morning. Are you going to the first one, right?
I am. I will be at all of them. I head up to Reading tomorrow. My bike, unfortunately, is not ready. We're doing some last-minute stuff to finish it. I'm going from my 250 two-stroke to my 450 four-stroke, so that's going to be a big adjustment back for me to ride that. So I'm a little nervous about that.
I really didn't want to bring this up because it gets brought up all the time, but I'm going to ask you, how is it to be a woman in pretty much this is a man's dominated sport, and you're out there kicking their butt, and congratulations to that, by the way. But how do them guys look at you?
From the rear.
I don't think they look at me any different as far as when we're off the track. On the track, I think a lot of them, if they've never seen me race before, they don't even look at that I've had the number 1 plate. They say, oh, that's a girl. No, there's no problem. I'll beat her. If there's somebody who races the series, I think they just don't want to be beat by the girl.
But on the track, it's no holds bar. You're just a driver, right?
Oh, yeah. I've been slammed into the walls. I've been taken out. Yeah, it's no different for me versus any of them. Sometimes it's probably a little bit harder because it's like she's not going to pass me. So I deal with that, but that's part of it. It makes me tougher. It's helped me, I guess, win 4 championships.
And congratulations on that too. That's a defeat in itself to win 4 championships in any division anywhere.
It is, and I guess I didn't realize that there's not been anyone to win 5. So that's my goal this year. You know, I said I've made the history books with nobody can take that away from me. I'm the first female to podium, win a race, win a championship, let alone 4. But if I could get that number 5, yeah, I'd like to make the history books again for the sport.
And that would be cool. We'd really like to see that. Listen, I know you got to get going, Mandy, because I know you got a long trip tomorrow, and you said you're still getting your bike ready. Let's thank them sponsors, and let's get you out of here.
I would like to do that. I get all of my traction from the guys at Hoosier Tire, Mid-Atlantic. I switched to those this year, and they do a great job for me. Curtis Sparks Racing Engines does all my motors, gives me the power I need. Turner's Honda is the place to go for all your parts. J&M Racing, which is our team. Answer Gear, keeps me fitted for the season. J&J Powder Coats right out on Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Know who they are, yep.
Total job, powder coating, my bike and my daughter's bike that you'll see in Hampton. They're some great people to work with. Lone Star Racing. I'm on ATV's Most Wanted calendar if you guys want to look that up to get one. Mud Motorsports and SMX Goggles.
Well, listen, we wish you the best of luck in Reading, and we'll be seeing you in Hampton here Saturday, January 7th. Tickets are still on sale. Come see y'all.
Okay, and I would also like to thank ESA Graphics for working hard to get me my graphics kit for this Friday to put that number 1 on my bike.
And you're well deserving wearing that number 1.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much, and we look forward to seeing you out there.
We will see you there. Thanks, Mandy.
I don't know if anyone will hear this for the race, but there's going to be a competition for the best Wild Child signs. You guys have a chance to win a replica jersey and some tickets to a future Hampton Coliseum event.
Oh, cool. That'll be neat.
Yeah.
There you go. Rock and roll. Wild Child, you ought to qualify for that.
Yeah, I should. So, anyway, Mandy, go work on that bike. We'll see you Saturday.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Shut speaker. That hangs. Teach you about the other buttons, and you forget the easy button.
The easy button.
You know, big round red thing.
So, you don't teach me.
You
just go, get out of my way.
Well, I can't teach you while we're live. Come on now.
Lord have mercy. All right, let's get out of here.
Well, at least we got a temporary feed running through Justin.tv.
The other one, did that one quit?
The other one's recording, but apparently there was some drop in the middle of the Atlantic, probably. Who the hell knows? But the signal dropped between the server, and instead of doing like in the old days where we shut it down and then restart it up, and then it takes me 2 days to 2 weeks to edit everything back together again, just said, heck with it. Let's just
let it flow and go there.
And go throw over to here and get a side view shot of everything. My hands off to the side and getting a 45er at you.
Now see, I'm showing you this, and I'm going to do it on the air. I'm shutting this computer off. I am not just shutting it down, and it's shutting off.
Well, at least that one. I don't know who used this one. I think Steve did this one last because it had his name for the sign-in on Facebook or something.
Yeah. All right, let's get out of here. Saturday, Ice Speedway. No racing either. Hampton Coliseum.
I mean no racing. They're in there racing, aren't they?
No, but no other racing going on that I know of. I think 2 weeks it's Rolex.
2 weeks already? No, it's got
End of January.
I thought that was at the beginning of February.
End of January.
Was the first race until what? February 20th?
February 20, yeah, something like that. 20,
So they're usually
28th.
They're like 2 weeks ahead.
28th.
115 days till Richmond.
Yeah, we're not under 30, but I think we're under 60 now.
Well. All right, everybody, have a good night. Why don't you say good night? I got to go over there and do the final on that thing anyway.
Well, then why don't you go over there, and then I'll sit here and I'll
That's
say
what I just said.
good night, everybody. Have a wonderful New Year. Doc's got to walk all the way around.
Sucks to be me.
And we will see you all next time. Come on, cut it.
Hi, my name is Natalie Sather. I drive the 94 K&N Lady Eagle Safety Wear, Butler built seats, bell helmets, hooker harness seat belts, number 94 at South Boston Speedway. Be sure to listen to Let's Talk Racing TV.
I'm Sam Hunt, driving 42 car on the thing Let's Talk Racing.
Hey guys, I'm Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bain, and thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
Hi, I'm Robert Richardson Jr., driver of the number 23 Dodge Challenger for R3 Motorsports in the NASCAR Nationwide Series, and you're watching Let's Talk Racing.
I'm Timothy Peter, driver of the number 17 Toyota NASCAR Camp World Truck Series, and you're listening to Let's Talk Racing.
Let's Talk Racing is brought to you by PC Doctors, Computer Sales and Services. This doctor still makes house calls. And also Hampton Incredible Tees and Signs, both located at 1248 North King Street in Hampton, Virginia.